don't think there's many other ways to put that, but that's a big win, isn't it?
Yeah, in every context. It's. I know there's a lot been said recently about the sides we've beaten in the league, and irrespective of where our position was, not beating one of the better sides in the league. So to beat Kidderminster, a full-time side, second in the table, we were chasing Fylde down. And in my opinion, are the best footballing side we played in the league by a country mile. That's my opinion. Going off when we played them at their place today, and obviously all the matches I've watched of them and the reports we've had. To put that kind of performance in, and just ignore the result as well for a minute, but the way we played, the way we controlled parts of the game, the way we set up, we had a game plan, and it's something we talked about all week with the lads in training and before the game. And for that game plan, the way the players executed it was, it's very, you feel very good about it, because as I say, it's not like you're doing it against bottom of the table. You do it against a side who in my opinion are the best team. So to do it the way we did, and let's have it right, the chances we created, it weren't as if we've only had 3 or 4 chances. Again, we've probably had double figures, and the performance and obviously the result, very satisfying.
Don't be cheeky. Did you expect that?
Listen, we've discussed in the past about how we set up, and we always set up to win games of football. We knew, we've paid Kidderminster respect, because if we'd have set up as we've set up in the last couple of games, I think they could have broke through the way we were set up, especially with, they move the ball quick, the rotations that they have in the middle of the park, they bounce it to the forward, get it back, and they get the full-backs high. We knew all this, so the way we set our team up early doors was to frustrate them, but also counter-attack, getting on the counter against them, because they like to split centre halves and push full-backs on, and they struggle with that. They struggle with the pace and power that we had on the counter-attack. I think second half they kept trying to play through us. We kept taking the ball off and we kept countering, and they didn't learn the lesson. And that's down to our lads. The concentration levels they've shown, because probably for 20 minutes in the first half they kept the ball really well. So our concentration levels had to be really high. But also then when we won the ball back, knowing what to do with it, when we put the burst on going forward, really pleasing.
And I know Grandy talked about it in his programme notes as well. 7 clean sheet in 9 games. I mean, that's the other side of it as well, isn't it?
I always go back to, and we'll continue to go back to the run that we had when we didn't win for 7, and we lost 4 games in that 7 against all sides around us, including Kidderminster. And then out of them 4 games that we lost were all by 1 goal, single goal. So in every game we was in the game. But we knew we had to be harder to beat. Whether it be a naive thing, in a brand new league and things like that, we had to adapt a little bit, and that was, as I said, that was to become harder to beat, and that's what we've done. Whether it be through the shape that we've changed each and every game, might not look like it, but the way we've tinkered with the shape against certain sides. And I think going to places like Alfreton and places like that and only getting a point, when I say only getting a point, just shows how tough the league is. And then you come at home against Kidderminster and you win 3-0. So we've adapted since that run. So we've got 9 games and we've looked pretty good. But that performance was coming. Bernard said it to the lads after the game. That performance was coming, and although it wasn't, we've not beat anybody 2s and 3s and 4s during the 8-game run. We was aware that, with the chances we were creating, eventually it happens. We was going to get that type of performance. Did we think it'd be against Kidderminster? No, we didn't. But we knew we were good enough to beat them, and especially with the way they play. So, I've said it probably 3 or 4 times. It's a very pleasing performance. We'll keep our feet on the ground, though. We've got to keep our feet on the ground. We can't get carried away. As I touched on before, it's only the first time we beat a side in the top, in the top 5 or 6. So. As close as we have been to beating your Fyldes and your Halifaxes and sides like Tamworths, who scored late on, and beating Chorley as well 1-0 during the game. So keep our feet on the ground. We've got a lot of hard work coming up over the next 2 weeks before we go to another tough game at Halifax. But we'll enjoy today. We'll enjoy tonight, and then we'll get back to work.
And Josh going in some great form into that, and Jordan making his 100th appearance as well today. Just a quick word on those 2.
Well, we've got that, obviously me and Bernard over our 100 games, and Jay Lynch and John. We've got a lot of consistency. We've got lads who've been here a couple of years now, and they understand what me and Bernard are about. They understand what the football club are about. They understand what the supporters, the owners, everybody are about. What we're all trying to do together, and that's so vitally important that you're not constantly bringing new players in who don't get what the group is. So really, pleased for John to get his 100th appearance, albeit as a sub. The goal he scored was a phenomenal goal. And what was the other thing you asked me then?
Josh coming in some 3 goals in 2 home
but that's
games.
why we signed him last year. You know, whatever it was, 8 or 9 months ago. Unfortunately, he's had 2 really bad injuries this season. We've worked him hard in training. We've sent him out on loan to Staley Bridge. You know, that's all off his own back, and that shows you the character of the lad. And a lot of people have doubted Josh. You know, he scored 20 goals last year in this league. All the best. Scored a lot of goals for Charlie in this league last year and the year before. We know the pedigree he's got. We know how good he is. It was just a case of getting him fit, fitting him into the way we play, and getting the best out of him. You know, we as management and coaches and things like that, we've got to get the best out of our players, and we're getting that now. And he'll only get better. The more games he plays, you know, he's starting to strike up that understanding with Michael and Jordan and Pooley. We've got a good set of good set of forwards. Pooley got his 2 last week. Pleasing, you know, we're coming into some form. We've been into some form for quite a bit now, haven't we? But it's pleasing with the way we're starting to get in another role.